What attracted you to start working with InTuition languages?
At the time I was working at language schools and my son was still at school, and sometimes it was difficult. I needed a more flexible kind of job. And also it can be quite frustrating in language schools because students come for a short course, you have a large class. Sometimes you can't address the issues. You can see a student with a particular issue or problem or something they need to do, but in a classroom setting, you can't address all the students' needs. So having a one-to-one in your home makes it a lot easier. It's much more satisfying. And also the thought of being able to be based in my home and do more than one thing, like go out in the afternoon with the students, get to know them really well.
What do you enjoy most about hosting and teaching InTuition students?
I think it's really nice to get to know the individual. It's always different, so each student has a different set of needs, different personality, different life experiences. I've hosted from teenagers who are keen to get their levels to go on to university or to go on to college, or just to improve their English for school, to pensioners who are planning to have a bit more of an adventurous life and want to travel to English-speaking countries and want to be able to communicate with people. So I think it's really nice to get to know about the students' culture, to be able to go out. One of the huge advantages is we would have lessons in the morning, and then according to the students' interests, I would plan some outing. And I found that I was getting to know my local area a lot better than I would have done otherwise if I was just working. It kind of gives you an incentive to find out what's on and go and see it. Generally, students like to taste your food, and then they tell you about their national dish, and quite often they offer to cook their national dish, which is hugely fun, and you can take part and learn to cook something and learn about the culture, and they're very proud of the dish. And the other advantage is I think it gives your family a chance to learn about the culture, other cultures and other people. Hosting a student, they interact with the other family members. My son learned a lot about other countries and it made him interested, and the students are generally really interested to know the rest of your family anyway.
Can you tell us a story about a student who really made an impression on you during their stay? What happened?
A young German girl called Isabel, and she had slight cerebral palsy, and she was finding the lessons quite difficult. I think she came with a lot of baggage from her school and her educational background that made her clam up a bit. She'd had a lot of negative experiences. So I was trying all kinds of ways to help her, and she was a lovely girl, really nice young lady. And then one night we went to a modern jive class for fun. She mentioned she liked dancing, and she kind of opened up and relaxed in that class. And from then on, we kind of incorporated that into the lessons. And I realised that she needed something physical to go with just oral lessons. And she learnt orally through doing stuff and through music. And it was just like the complete turnaround in her personality and her learning ability, which made a big impression on me, made me realise the importance of exploring different learning methods and getting to know your student.
What advice would you give to a new InTuition teacher?
I think I'd say just enjoy it. Enjoy the flexibility. Enjoy planning the outings. Enjoy the satisfaction of being able to pace the lessons at the student's pace and your pace, and to be able to sort of bring something in if they become enthusiastic about something, you can just start doing that. Stay sensitive to their needs. Some students like a lot of space, and some students like to join in everything, and also their interests. Yeah, some students will sit with you and you watch films in the evening or play games like Scrabble. Don't worry about whether you live in a sumptuous mansion or a humble home. I mean, my house is quite simple and basic, but the students come to learn and they come to see the culture. And whether they live in a sumptuous mansion or whatever background they come from, I think they're interested to find something different, and they're just happy as long as they've got a clean, cosy room, nice food, someone who engages with them and is genuinely interested in them. So just relax and enjoy it, incorporate them into your family, make it a fun thing. And also, you learn a lot from them as well. Like, whatever their interests are, it's kind of like a learning experience for you in a way. So that's another thing that I find really fun about it, actually.
Tell us a top English learning tip in 30 seconds.
Context is everything, really, in being able to attach your learning. A lot of your students will be more mature, and they've been through quite a boring learning process at school where they've had to learn endless grammar or learn from books or learn in a very inflexible way. You can provide endless context to your lessons. You've got the advantage of being able to back up the lesson that you have in the morning with an outing where they can practice that language, or an outing where they've got examples of the vocabulary they've learned.